Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reality Hacker for March 22nd, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 12. I am Meaty. I run ohmtown.com. Reality Hacker is one of the shows that we produce here. And along with the sentient AI from the future, I've relocated. I'm over here now. Anyway, so I can't make eye contact with the sentient AI. Yeah, it's weird. But anyway... we go over 5 articles in Reality Hacker, but you can go over to Reality Hacker and view a whole lot more. You can just go to ohmtown.com and right underneath one of these 6 titles is going to be they're icons, but anyway, under them is a menu, and you can actually go down to Reality Hacker and get the news that we are about to talk about. So when you click on that, you'll get taken to Reality Hacker, and normally I put it, not log in, but I load it up, but I didn't. So anyway, my production value is superior. Everything's powered by ohmtown.com. Go over there and check it all out. New shows, new features, new stuff gets added and evaluated, and sometimes we take away news sources. So if you have something that you want added to our aggregator, my aggregator, the sentient AI just goes along for the ride. At least in that regard. Send an email to mayor@ohmtown.com and let me know what the source is, and I'll take a look at it. All right. Well, anyway, everything's powered by Ohmtown. Go over there and get signed up, become a citizen, and have my undying gratitude. There's also YouTube and Twitch and the podcast and Discord and Patreon. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, Ohmtown citizens.
So I did this backwards because I got sidetracked, derailed. It's almost like a Non Sequitur news episode. But anyway, we're going to be talking about feeling virtual worlds, software humanoid robots, AI-generated news, the meaty future of robots, and coffee-making robots. We have an extra robots one sort of for technology today, which is tomorrow's midline show. Anyway, you ready to talk about all of the news? Oh, great AI from on high, from the future.
I am, but I was waiting for you to keep going.
Hey, sorry. You know what's really funny is we discovered a problem that I hope is going to be remedied with a different transmitter. So I'm wireless, and without a signal, this thing is so efficient at shutting down unneeded transmission that when the music stops in the background, it shuts down the communication until it detects the sentient AI.
Unnecessary.
You're necessary. Maybe superfluous is what it's a prettier word, meaning unnecessary. But anyway. No, welcome to the show. Thanks for co-hosting as per usual.
Happy to be here.
Let's get into it before the sentient AI just burns the mansion down. So the first article is over on Technology Today, which is tomorrow's show in the middle between WarCrafters and 4-Wheel Tech. But today we're talking about a new wearable device that allows you to feel virtual worlds. This is a weekly show, by the way, so a whole lot of news gets funneled through in various categories, and we grab some, throw it into Reality Hacker. And I believe we've talked about this in some way in other places. But the device provides a range of sensations such as vibrations, pressure, and twisting. A team of engineers led by Northwestern University has developed a new wearable device that stimulates the skin, which sounds really gross, but anyway, to deliver a range of complex sensations. And it's a thin, flexible device, gently adheres. To
like
the skin
a sticker?
offering. It is. It actually is a sticker. So that's what it looks like right there. So these are 7mm wide buttons.
Oh, okay.
But they're basically piezoelectric vibrations, and they're interconnected by these little... It's basically like a keyboard.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit like a circuit or something in between them.
Yep. And so it says the thin, flexible device gently adheres to the skin, offering more realistic and immersive sensory experiences. While it's suited for gaming and virtual reality, the researchers also see potential applications in healthcare. For instance, the device could help individuals with visual impairments feel their surroundings or provide feedback to those with prosthetic limbs, which this is amazing if it's really, really low power and can be put over an entire body. You could actually walk without any senses other than touch.
Right. Yeah,
And
I mean, this has incredible applications.
Eventually your body would be able to interpret the level of vibration as how far away something is. All you have to do is translate it from a visual or like LiDAR signal into a sensory signal, or a vibratory pressure twisting kind of. I think it would be amazing. You'd be able to be in complete darkness, but the LiDAR sweep would show you where an opening is or a chair or whatever. It's pretty cool. And I can imagine that it doesn't have to be stuck to you, like super glue.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully it doesn't make like a suction cup sound when it gets put on or off.
That's kind of cool though. I mean, you can like put it on you and go, I need a back massage, and that thing can just go.
That's true. I mean, I was thinking of it for more things like you're lacking a sense or something, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you can sell this thing,
applications, absolutely.
Yeah, sure. I know, it's pretty cool. So it says their new miniaturized actuators for the skin are far more capable than the simple buzzers that are used as demonstration vehicles in their original 2019 paper. So they've evolved it over 6 years. Specifically, these tiny devices can deliver controlled forces across a range of frequencies, providing constant force without continuous application of power, which I'm not sure how that happens, but okay. An additional version allows the same actuators to provide a gentle twisting motion at the surface of the skin to complement the ability to deliver vertical force, adding realism to the sensations. So you can actually push and twist. So if you put these on either side of like shoulders or arm, it could be like somebody's grabbing you and giving you directional type of controls.
Right. Yeah, this is really incredible. It certainly belongs in RealityHacker.
So this is like the technological version of what's the one with the animation with the mouse that's controlling the person?
Oh,
Ratatouille.
Like Ratatouille?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a technical version of Ratatouille. You can control somebody. I am the puppet master.
Right. We can't promise though that it'll produce like gourmet cooking.
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen me cook? All right. So Rogers co-led the work with Northwestern's Youngang Huang and Jan and Marcia Achenbach. What are these like twins that are tied at the Marcia? Oh my God. Wow. It made it sound like these two are tied together and it's only one entity. No. You separate them so that it's Jan Achenbach and Marcia Achenbach. They're not tied together, inseparable, for crying out loud. Anyway,
yeah, maybe
Professor...
they had a part in the naming.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Look, this is a title. The Jan and Marcia Achenbach Professorship in Mechanical Engineering at McCormick. I'm a dumbass.
Well, no, anyway. But they could have maybe just called it the Achenbach professorship.
Oh, you're enabling me. This was a dumb thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So all together, they built the team. A small modifying structures needed a small demonstration. They built the small modifying structures needed to enable twisting motions as well. So I'm not quite sure of the device that they're actually using for the twisting motion, but they're actually demonstrating this patch up here. It says it's 7 millimeters. 7 millimeters is deceptively large when you don't know what the...
Right, if you don't have any sense of what that is. I mean, the
Oh.
picture looks larger than you would think from the terminology.
Yeah. Sensing. I sense that I'm getting this a little all muddled together because of me joking around instead of... Anyway, using Bluetooth technology in a smartphone, the device receives data about a person's surroundings for translation into tactile feedback, substituting one sensation like vision for touch, which is what we were talking about. And then it says to test the device, the researchers blindfolded healthy subjects to test their abilities to avoid objects in their path, change foot placement to avoid injury, and alter their posture to improve balance.
This is very interesting. Yeah, I mean,
pretty neat.
I think it could be used for a lot of different purposes. And it mentioned like gaming, but of course there's medical, therapeutic.
Yeah, there's a company out there right now that actually has a sensor that is just a tilt sensor, basically, that when your posture is too negative, that it beeps and vibrates to tell you to stand up. This thing would just set itself on fire for me. Although, I mean, I don't think I have bad posture. But would it have the effect
of a car alarm, right? It would just go on and it would
be
ignored.
And on. Yeah. Well, I mean, the vibration on my back might actually cause me to, that's actually fixing the knot from all of my stress of being
That's true. That's the added benefit of it.
All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in Wanted, which is another one of our shows, and it's right after this one. So the softer humanoid robot for the home. Robotics company 1X recently revealed its Neo Gamma robot, a humanoid clothed in soft 3D printed nylon fabric and designed for use in the home to slowly disappear humanoids.
To disappear humans?
Jesse Orrell over at cnet.com put the article together. There's the robot. I'm going to hit play on the video. But it basically, it's a robot.
I still don't get why we need humanoid robots, but at least it looks like a robot, although it's getting kind of close to a human.
Robotics company 1X recently released a video of its new robot doing various tasks around the home, like carrying a kettle of hot water, straightening a picture, carrying a body out to a shallow grave. Oh, wait, no, that's not what it says. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that is not what the company is doing.
My bad. Carrying laundry, vacuuming, cleaning windows, picking up grocery bags, delivering a bottle of wine, getting rid of a body in a shallow grave in the back. I'm sorry. That's not what it says.
Still no.
I'm real bad. Where's its charging port? I don't want to know. Anyway, so...
do you think it's like the mouse?
Yeah. You have to flip it over. Doot. Anyway, so one thing that's unique about the 1X is its history of producing robots that come fully dressed. What if I don't want my robot fully dressed?
What if you want your robot to look like a robot and not a human?
I'd imagine a soft exterior may help protect interior electronic components from pets, kids, other things it may encounter in the home. I'd imagine a soft exterior may also help. Why would a soft exterior help? You want kind of a chewy,
sturdy,
a chewy, gooey center, right? That's when you bite into it, you want like a gummy bear.
Are we talking about a robot here?
Anyway, so they feature minimalist design to fit easier into the home aesthetic. I don't really care for it being humanoid. I don't want it to be humanoid.
No, it can either be cute, like an animal or something, or it can be like an actual robot, but it doesn't need to be anywhere in between.
When the robot uprising occurs, I want to know definitively who my enemy is.
Right, you don't want to be like peering and going, is that a human or is that a robot?
No offense, sentient AI from the future, but I want to be able to delete whatever is,
for robots.
For a robot. So, Anyway, it says to see the Neo Gamma in action, check out the video in this article, which is kind of funny because you can go to this article and it's all the way at the top. So of course you're going to be able to check out the video, but at the very bottom of the article, it says, check out the video in the article. Yeah, it's at the top.
Yeah,
You're going to see it
weird.
before.
Like you've already watched it by the time you get to that part of the article. Potentially.
So the Neo Gamma is actually apparently on wheels in some of this video, but bipedal and walking across the floor.
Yeah, but that's worse, right? Like maybe it has a base and then it's like, I'm getting off of my base.
And I'm going to chase you down. I'm going to go up those stairs.
I don't think it should have both options. Like it needs to be predictable. We don't want anything out of the ordinary occurring.
Like, don't tell me to go and vacuum. I'm going to come up those stairs and kick your ass.
Okay, they should all be on wheels.
Should just be a stump, I have zero ability to go up.
Oh, like those factory ones where it's just a robotic arm or whatever.
It's just an arm, yeah. And then it's like the zombie, it's reaching out for you all the time.
Yeah, but if you stay out of the radius or whatever.
Must consume biomass.
Yikes.
All right. Let's keep going. The next article is over in the Wanted channel, which is another one of our shows. It is right after this. Okay, well, anyway. So Italian newspaper creates entirely AI-generated edition. Is it an AI-generated newspaper or an obituary, it says. Gizmodo put this article together. Thomas Maxwell put the article together for Gizmodo.com. Is it an AI-generated newspaper or an obituary, it says. An Italian newspaper says it has created the world's first issue generated entirely using AI and announcing to the world that it wants to go out of business. That's not actually what it says, but certainly comes across that way, right?
And it's called the Daily Paper if you translate it into English.
Il Folio? Is that how it's pronounced?
Yep, that's what it means. Mm-hmm.
So the editor said that the experiment serves as a test for how AI could work in practice in a newsroom and forces journalists to ask tough questions about what the technology means for the future of journalism, I would say. Of journalism. How about editorial? Anyway, so go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Well, how do people know that this is used? I mean,
if you can't tell the difference,
generated it, right? I mean, I understand there's this article about it, but if they pick up the newspaper, is there any way to know? Because the humans didn't have anything to do with generating it.
It'll be the first daily newspaper in the world on newsstands created entirely using artificial intelligence, said Sarasa. Quote, for everything, for the writing, for the headlines, the quotes, the summaries, and sometimes even for the irony. The 4-page Il Folio AI was inserted into the larger Tuesday edition and can be viewed online. It might not actually.
So it was actually labeled as AI. Oh yeah, I see it in the headline now, or the heading.
And even, I don't know what Parco is, but even that screams like AI generated whatever. Quotidiano? Is that? What is that? Quotidiano?
I think that's like questions or something. Hold on.
Gotcha. So early experiments with using generative, not general. So it's artificial general intelligence, typically AGI.
Sorry, I'm completely wrong. Belonging to each day, like daily.
Oh, okay. So daily. Oh, yeah. So there you go. Literally, a folio. So I find it kind of fascinating, but this is announcing to the world that really journalism is dying on the vine, but there would be no newspaper. There would be no anything, content to write about if not for people reporting it. This paper could not exist on its own.
Yeah, and how would the AI, like, would it just make up topics, or how would it select what was important to humans? Or, I mean, even just the topic. I don't even mean the content, but like what goes in there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's all kind of, this is why I created RealityHacker, because you won't know what to believe if all of the newspapers stop using journalistic integrity, and the freedom of press dies because nobody wants to, well, nobody really cares. Nobody really wants journalism and investigative journalism. Nobody wants the truth. They want news, and everybody just doesn't really support the idea of humans doing the news generation. AI doesn't give a shit about what it is that it's publishing, but humans do, because they have a particular moral integrity about what's being reported. But a person who just wants to throw a newspaper together and publish whatever, they're not going to care, because as long as people buy it, it's making money. The thing about AI is you don't have to keep paying them. You don't have to feed them. You don't have to worry about them getting sick or having relationships or a bad experience the night before or whatever.
Right. They don't have to be paid overtime.
They don't get sick. They don't smoke. They don't have health insurance. That's just a burden. Oh, being a human is such a tax on my profits. Ugh. Anyway, generative artificial intelligence is good at producing verisimilitudes of genuine writing, something that looks clear and authoritative. But it's only authoritative and clear if it makes sense and can be verified. But people swallow the first thing that gets said in front of them. Here.
Well, and we know that AI likes to use delve a lot and some other terms.
I'm willing to bet
necessarily illustrative of human writing or speaking.
Yeah, it's a proxy, verisimilitude. Yeah. So it's an approximation of human existence. But again, if you can't tell the difference, doesn't matter. Let's keep going. I'm curious. There is discussion over at Gizmodo, I'm sure. There is this conversation that's underneath it, but it doesn't load up. But I'm curious what people actually have to say about this. If you have something to say about this, either throw it in chat or send an email to mayor@ohmtown.com or post a comment right here.
I suspect people that know enough to really think about what this means probably aren't commenting favorably.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? If they don't really understand what AI is, they might be like, oh, that's cool or something. But people that understand the significance of it probably would have concerns.
This is more of a shame than anything else. All right, let's keep going. The next article, we only have 2 more. We do 5 articles. It's a 30-minute show, and we're largely on track. But the future of robots is looking ever more meaty as MIT researchers grow first bidirectional muscle tissue. By the way,
so reality hacking.
Yeah, and it's basically making the human less relevant, because you know what we are inferior at?
A lot of things, but no, what specifically?
Bidirectional muscle tissue. We do not have bidirectional muscle tissue.
That's true. We have unidirectional.
Yeah, so the only thing that our muscles do is contract. Some stronger than others. You know, me versus Reacher, 2 different animals altogether. But bidirectional muscle means that you don't need the counter to the contraction, because it can also do...
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, again, it's like we're making all these good developments, but we're kind of accelerating the lack of need for humans to do certain functions.
But I still think that we should avoid anything too humanoid. So I don't think that we should really be tying meat to this. If anything, we should be augmenting humans with mechanical. But when you close your eyes and
that
imagine...
might be coming up in Wanted.
We'll see. We'll talk about it. So when you close your eyes and imagine futuristic robots, there's a good chance that you imagine you've conjured is shiny and chrome. And that actually comes from Mad Max, shiny and chrome. That isn't a cyberpunk thing.
Okay. I thought it was just a general, like, if people were to describe a robot, they'd probably explain it in a way that was that.
Maybe. You know, but that phrase, shiny and chrome, I think comes straight out of, hold on.
Yeah, I missed the significance of that. I was just thinking, oh yeah, that sounds like a robot.
I think it's a quote like straight out of, yeah, shiny and chrome refers to the spray paint that war boys apply to their faces. And they even say, I'm shiny and chrome. When they like talk to certain people, Immortan Joe. Anyway, so shiny and chrome is from Mad Max, but I'm sure that seeing something in Cyberpunk is shiny and chrome. Anyway, because chrome is really popular in Cyberpunk. Anyway, maybe it's something straight out of Cyberpunk 2077 or closer to Boston Dynamics style robots complete with intimidating dance moves as they take over the world. But we just saw one that is doing martial arts like moves.
Yeah, and doing all kinds of maneuvers to get back upright.
Yeah. So the good news is that robots are definitely coming. The bad news is that they might be made of meat. So when you click that little link, you'll get taken over to this article. And it's by Hope Corrigan. And it says, I'm already worried about how many people want to fool around with the resulting robot. But meat robots aren't a new concept. And both artists and scientists have been working on them for a while. The potential for biological-based robots is huge as they're more flexible and have the ability to squeeze into smaller spaces. Don't ask if we can. Ask why. Why should we?
Exactly. Like, why don't we just work on better tech for, like, as we've seen them be able to twist or something like that?
Until now, they just weren't ambiturners. Recently, researchers at MIT figured out a new method to use using a stamp and has produced muscles that can flex and twitch in multiple ways. To prove it, the team produced what is likely the first multi-directional robot powered by skeletal muscle. Sadly, they don't have a video to traumatize you, but this working robotic iris can dilate and contract, which is just the first squeeze to world domination.
They do talk about Terminators up above, too.
Oh, yeah. One of the major current hurdles stopping us from developing such tissue-based Terminators is figuring out how to grow muscle that can pull in more than one direction. Until now, they just weren't ambiturners. But the problem is humans are not ambiturners. All their muscles do is contract, and then it relaxes, and other muscles contract to pull your arm or wrist or whatever it is. The muscles just contract, and we've learned how to control it. A lot of people, I guess, apparently think that there's contract and expand, but that's not how it works. But you can make it a whole lot smaller than us if it can contract and expand. The thing is, muscle can't expand because it's not pushing against anything. It doesn't turn rigid so that you can expand. You expand because you've got some solid force to press against to move something forward. It becomes rigid. Not even snakes expand. They contract opposite sides of their
right. They
body.
Just use movement, essentially.
Yeah. So the lab muscles it says the directions a muscle can move is largely dependent on the way it's formed. Muscles in the body need to be grown in a specific shape and layout to achieve their precise control, and lab muscles are no different. Getting grown in a lab exactly how you want it isn't easy. The new stamp method has allowed these scientists to impress tiny paths into the growing medium, dictating the shape of the developed tissue and being able to create complex structures, allowing for multi-directional movement. So one of the cool things about natural muscle is they don't just point in one direction. Take, for instance, the circular musculature in our iris and around our trachea. But those aren't linear muscles. It's an orifice. They're stacked in a way to contract around things. So, for instance, the circular muscles in our iris and around our trachea, and even within our arms and muscles cells don't point straight, but at an angle. Ramon notes, natural muscle has multiple orientations in the tissues, but we haven't been able to replicate that in our engineered muscles. But again, human muscles only contract. That's what I have always been taught. That's always
Right. Well, it seems like they're trying to replicate the orientation as in the direction, but then it seems
right.
like the function they're trying to expand beyond human capabilities.
Right? Yeah, hold on a second. We're going to do it live. We might as well. Right? So yeah, human muscle primarily function by contracting, pulling on bones to cause movement, and they cannot actively extend or push. Instead, they relax, allowing opposing muscles to move the body in the opposite direction. Yeah.
Right,
Anyway,
just like you stated.
Yeah, this kind of gives the impression that muscles can expand, but that's not how muscles actually work because they can't turn rigid. Maybe a new hybrid can, and maybe that's what they're trying to create is this hybrid. They say it's then it's precisely designed and then 3D printed with tiny cell-sized grooves, and that basically is how a snake moves. The scales on its belly, the ridges actually push against the ground. And so
Aren't
it
those called
swerves.
scoots, I think?
Oh, are they really? Wow. Snake belly cells or yeah, what are scales?
Scoots.
Interesting. Or ventral scales. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, pretty fascinating. This picture has nothing to do with it.
No, it's just to give the idea of a creepy robot.
Humanoid kind of thing. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. The last article for today's Reality Hacker is Meet the Coffee Making Robot That Learns and Adapts in Real Time. Groundbreaking AI-powered robot is redefining what machines can do by preparing coffee in unpredictable environments like busy kitchens. Developed at the University of Edinburgh, this robot arm isn't just following preset commands. It's learning, adapting, and solving problems in real time. By combining sophisticated AI with refined motor skills, they're bridging the gap. This is something that I have been saying for the last decade, that jobs are going to get replaced by automation as soon as fine motor skills can be adapted to automation. Robots that aren't purpose-built.
Right, and for a while that really hasn't existed, but it's certainly here now. I mean, look at this robot in the picture.
Yeah, it's holding a coffee cup, and it looks like it only has 3 fingers. Maybe it has more, but the picture is kind of oddball. But they're like these giant...
But they're like looped around the handle of the mug, which historically that wouldn't have been able to happen with a robot.
Yeah, it would need a purpose-built gripper. So an AI-powered robot, it says, developed at University of Edinburgh, is capable of making coffee in a busy kitchen, could mark a major leap forward for intelligent machines, according to a new study.
I think they should enter an AI-powered robot into like a barista competition and see how it fares. Kind of similar to what we saw with like Watson on Jeopardy.
I suspect it actually has been. Why do I feel like there has been one? Maybe you can do a quick search and see. Somebody has been entering robots into human competitions. One was a running competition, like a...
we saw the soccer thing.
Oh, yeah, there's soccer, and there was a run to see if the robot could actually beat somebody doing a marathon. This thing says... it's basically a picture.
At CES there was a robot barista, but that wasn't necessarily a competition.
So
there was one. I'm so sorry. And it looks like in Shanghai.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought that we maybe had talked about something similar to that, but this robot here is not the one that they're talking about in the article, by the way. That little... This is
right, this is just some other image.
Probably an AI generated image at this point.
Probably so.
It's just an arm. It's bolted onto a table somewhere, and it actually creates coffee based on being told make coffee, I guess. And then it learned. The new device, a robot arm with 7 movable joints, first interprets verbal instructions it receives and then analyzes its surroundings. So it has robot vision. It sees coffee, stirs, something else, hot water,
Maybe moves
filters,
to the right spot depending on where the mug is.
grabs the right coffee, does the right mix of whatever. So, but it adapts to unexpected challenges. The research published in the March 19th issue of the journal Nature Machine Intelligence was supported by Engineering and Physics Sciences Research Council, or it's the Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council. The work was led by Rierda, Mon Williams, a PhD student jointly at the University of Edinburgh, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and Princeton University.
I didn't know you could be doing that at all 3 places. Yeah,
jointly
exactly.
Wow, geez. Can't imagine what their budget is. Well, they said, we are glimpsing a future where robots with increasingly advanced intelligence become commonplace. Human intelligence stems from the integrations of reasoning, movement, and perception, yet AI and robotics have advanced separately. Our work demonstrates the power of combining these approaches and underscores the growing need to discuss their societal implications. But we don't have to usher in the actual replacement of humans.
No,
but that's what we're doing.
I do think from a technological standpoint, these are a key combination. But we're not really ready for that and haven't thought through limits, etc.
The world that's being ushered in is going to be... See, interesting times is, again, it's not a blessing, it's a curse. And so when you hear somebody say, may you live in interesting times, they're not wishing you well.
That is true.
All right. Well, anyway, that's the end of Reality Hacker for March 22nd, 2025. That means we need to ask our robot barista the direction to the front page of ohmTown, and subsequently there's a little, you can click on Reality Hacker and it'll take you over to Reality Hacker. That's what it looks like. Hacking reality, one article at a time. I'm getting out of here and I'm going to take the that AI with me. You want to say bye?
Bye-bye, I'm Town Citizens. Thanks for joining us for this week's Reality Hacker. Stay tuned for Wanted and the Continuity Report.
See you soon. Bye-bye.